He still deserved medical attention, even if, and he wasn't, but even if he were the perpetrator. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope that everybody is doing well. It's been a little bit since I've been on here. Life has been so busy right now, but I wanted to hop on here and make a video, one I've been sitting on for a little bit, and I figured today I have some time, so let's just sit down and make it. But first, if you are new here, then hi, my name is Brittany. I am a nurse practitioner. I'm also the creator of the Brittany Holzbeck NP Review. It is the most comprehensive, affordable, and accredited nurse practitioner boards review on the market. My entire boards review and some other courses that I created are all available at www.thenewNP.com. I'll make sure to have the link in the description box below if you want to go and check it out. But today I wanted to talk about the Ryan Waller case. So this is a little bit of an older case. It is the story of a man who was left in the back of a cop car for 4 hours and then interrogated for 2 hours, all while suffering a major traumatic brain injury and actually still while having a bullet in his brain. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. It is older, like I said, it happened in 2006, but I've just been seeing some stuff pop up on my social medias, and I really wanted to sit down and kind of do a dive into the case and talk about it. And you might be wondering, like, why? My channel is really solely focused on education for the nurse practitioner. I've mentioned this a few times before, but in case you haven't heard on here, if this is maybe like your first video you're checking out, I also do have an interest in true crime, and I'd like to find stories that kind of tie into both true crime and medicine and sit down and kind of do more like a podcast style. So if this is something you're interested in, hopefully you'll stick around, maybe grab a coffee or something, and we're just going to get right into the case. I'll talk about all of the details, and then at the end here, I'll share some of my opinions. So make sure that you stick around to the end if you are curious to hear what I think about the case. All right, so like I said, this story is about a man who was essentially left for 6 hours while suffering a traumatic brain injury, having a bullet in his head. And I'm sure, like myself, you're wondering, how could this happen? How could something like this happen? Well, the police were actually at the time investigating the death of Heather Kwan. This was Ryan Waller's girlfriend at the time, and they were basically investigating him because they believed that he had shot and killed his girlfriend. But the horrible reality is that Ryan was actually just another victim in this same horrific crime along with his girlfriend Heather Kwan. So it was December 23rd, 2006 when Heather and Ryan, who were living together at the time, experienced a break-in from a previous tenant of the home and his father. And during the break-in, both of them were shot. So the real criminals were Larry and Richie Carver. Just an incredibly evil father and son duo. So like I said, both Heather and Ryan were shot during the break-in. Heather unfortunately succumbed to her injuries immediately, and she was deceased on the couch. However, Ryan somehow miraculously survived being shot in the head. And even though he did survive, it was not without significant brain injury. In fact, even though he did survive that gunshot wound to the head, he didn't even have the wherewithal to call 911 for help because his traumatic brain injury left him so confused, so disoriented. He, what we believe, was in and out of sleep, or walking around his home, doing really, truly, God knows what, until it was actually Christmas Day, so December 25th, when Ryan's father called 911, concerned that his son never showed up for Christmas dinner. And so the police, when they go to Ryan and Heather's home to do like a wellness check, they find Heather deceased on the couch and Ryan, quote, walking around the home. And so this is where the police made the first of many poor choices in this case, right? They took Ryan, who had very, very obvious traumatic injuries, took him and put him in the back of the cop car for 4 hours while they continued to investigate the crime. Even though, and I'll have you take a look at the mugshot, even though he looked like this, considering the nature of the crime, right? They're assuming some sort of with a gun, and he looks severely injured with a traumatic, some kind of injury to his head, but they still just put him in the back of a cop car. Now, even if they were assuming Ryan had these injuries, say, because he got into some kind of altercation with Heather, he still deserved to receive medical attention. Even prisoners on death row receive medical attention. So before being just forgotten in the back of a cop car for hours or interrogated, which we'll get to in a minute, that is horrific, for hours, looking the way he looked, I mean, he clearly needed medical attention. I cannot believe how horrific this story is. And so, like I said, this interrogation is crazy. We're not just seeing signs of physical trauma. We're not just looking and seeing the evidence that he was injured. We are seeing it in his behaviors and what he is saying during the interrogation. And I'll be honest, it's hard to watch. So here's a big trigger warning now. I do want to play some of this interrogation. I want to go over some of it with you guys and talk about it. But trigger warning, it can be upsetting to watch.
Oh.
What's the highest grade you went through school?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know the highest grade you went through?
Eighth?
Eighth grade? Did you graduate?
Yeah.
Do you have a GED?
I don't know.
You don't know what?
I don't know. I just want to go home.
Oh, you're not going to go home right now. What's the highest grade that you completed?
B?
No. Not grade as in letter grade. I'm asking, did you graduate high school?
No.
And the highest you went was eighth grade?
Mm.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Mm.
No? You know a girl named Heather?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Heather's last name?
Mm-hmm.
What is Heather's last name?
The one that lives there right now?
I guess, I don't know. If her name's Heather, what's her last name?
I don't know which name she's trying to use as her last one. She's trying to have a real last as her nickname, so I don't know.
What nickname does she go by?
She probably wants the last name, Kyman.
Kyman? How would you spell that? With a K or a C?
K.
How old is Heather?
16 or 17.
Is she a white girl?
Yeah.
How did you meet Heather?
I've known her since school.
Okay.
I don't know.
You just known her from school?
She used to be a business name. I don't know.
She used to do a business name.
She used to be in my book named with business name.
Oh, okay. She used to be in the class, your business class?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What happened to your face?
I don't know.
You told the officer just a few minutes ago that someone hit you. Do you remember who hit you?
I don't know. I think it was Heather.
Why would Heather hit you?
I don't know. It was an accident. I forgot why.
What was an accident?
Heather's last name?
No. What was an accident?
Heather hitting me.
What did she hit you with?
Her hand in the eye.
Did you guys have an argument?
Not really, no.
Not really?
Uh-uh.
What happened for her to hit you in the eye like that?
She just hit me on accident. She was giving Christina a head.
She was what?
She was helping Christina with her hair or something. I don't know.
Who's Christina?
She's on the couch.
Christina's on the couch? What's Christina's last name?
I don't know.
What does she look like?
I really don't know.
You don't know?
I really don't.
What color hair does she have?
Brown?
Is it long?
Just average.
Do you know Alicia?
Mm-mm.
You don't know Alicia?
Mm-mm.
She lives at your house? You know a guy named Eric?
Mm-hmm.
What's Eric's last name?
He's trying to pay me back. Green something.
His last name is Green something? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Where's Eric right now?
I don't know.
Do you have his phone number?
I really don't. He doesn't have one.
Okay. Do you have Heather's phone number? You don't know?
Mm-mm.
How about Christina?
Mm-mm.
You don't have anybody's phone number?
Mm-mm.
What happened last night?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I really don't. I just want to go to sleep and go to sleep. Oh.
You remembered Heather hitting you in the eye, right?
I don't remember after that because I just went to lay down and try to go to sleep.
All right.
I don't know what anybody was doing. I really don't.
Who was in the house when you went to sleep?
Christina and Heather.
Christina and Heather.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Christina was on the couch?
Heather was.
Heather was on the couch. You told me Christina was on the couch just a minute ago.
I don't know, man. I really don't. I really don't.
You just don't know?
I really don't, man.
Or you don't want to tell me?
I really don't know, man. I really don't. I just want to go and go to sleep, man.
All right, you're not going to go anywhere. Do you know what happened in your house last night?
Mm-mm.
Is that house yours?
Mm-hmm.
Yours or your parents'?
Mine.
You bought that house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why? What happened?
I don't know what happened. You're all beat up, right? So tell me what happened.
I don't know. I just want to go to sleep, man. That's it.
Remember what happened to your nose? There's a big chunk out of your nose.
I don't know.
Someone grab you? Were you fighting with somebody?
No, I need to go. I need to go back to sleep, man. I'm just tired, man. That's it. Didn't even do anything. I just want to go to sleep.
You remember what time this happened? Your eye?
Like 1? Or maybe earlier? I don't know. I don't know.
Do you know Eric's girlfriend?
Yeah?
What's her name?
Heather?
Eric's girlfriend's Heather?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alicia, the girl that lives in your house.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who she is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, what about her?
Do you remember what time she came home last night?
Not really. Why?
I'm just asking.
I don't. I really don't.
Okay. She said when she came home last night, your eye was already like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember letting her in the house?
I think so.
Was your eye already screwed up like that?
It was later in the night after she got back. So like 2 in the morning. I was already sleeping though.
Mm-hmm. So she got back at 2 in the morning?
Yeah, I don't know from where.
Okay. Heather.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that's Eric's girlfriend?
Mm-mm.
Or your girlfriend?
Heather?
Yeah.
Mine.
Heather's your girlfriend. All right. Was Heather over last night?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Heather did this to you?
What?
Your eye.
Uh-uh.
Okay, who did that to you?
Alicia.
Alicia did that to you now.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even lying, I swear.
Okay. Why would Alicia do this to you?
Why? I have no idea.
Were you mad at Alicia?
No, I don't know why. I don't know why. She probably hit it on something. I don't know.
She hit what on something?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just want to go to sleep, man. That's it.
Hey, Ryan?
Huh? Huh?
There's a dead girl in your living room.
She's dead?
Yes.
Heather?
I don't know. I want to know what happened in your house last night.
The girl on the couch is dead?
I don't know. If she's on the couch, she's dead.
Well, these people came over, Richie and his dad, with shoot and arrow, bow and darts. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They hit me and her with those. That's it. And Heather wasn't there. And Eric wasn't there. It was just me and Heather. What was there?
You and Heather were there. And then what happened?
And that's it. Richie and his dad tried to break in through the back.
Richie and Dad? His dad?
Mm-hmm.
Who's Richie?
I don't know.
Well, you obviously know him. You know his name by Richie.
He used to live there.
Was he a roommate of yours?
He used to be.
And they hit you and they hit you?
Yeah.
Now it's Richie that hit you, not Heather?
No, Richie and his dad.
Richie and his dad. They hit you.
Yes.
Why?
Because they're trying to get their stuff. I don't know why.
And they had some kind of bow and arrows?
Mm-hmm. They each had 2 revolvers and they didn't let off any shells.
Okay, you just said they had bow and arrows. Now they have revolvers?
That's what I meant. They had revolvers.
They have revolvers.
Yes.
And then what happened?
And then they shot us with those.
They shot both of you?
Yeah.
Where'd they shoot you at?
I got shot in the eye.
You got shot in the eye
I think so.
with a revolver.
I think. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Then what happened?
I don't know.
You don't know a lot, Ryan.
I don't, man. I really don't.
Did you shoot Heather?
Mm-mm.
Ryan, why don't you tell me what really happened there? Because I don't believe...
I really don't know, man. I really don't. I don't know. I could tell you anything, I swear.
Well, I want you to tell me the truth. That's all I want from
Richie
you.
and his dad came there. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why, but they put me in sleeping hold. And, like, they put me in sleeping hold with the arrows and shit. Like, I lived through that crap.
Okay, they put you in a sleeping hold?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know, man.
You're telling me they put you in a sleeping hold. What is a sleeping hold?
I don't know.
Well, explain it.
really don't know.
It's coming out of your mouth. Explain that to me. What's a sleeping hold?
I really don't know, man. I really don't. I really don't know.
Okay. You're telling me you're all over the board here, number one. You're saying bows and arrows, you're saying revolvers, and you're saying some other thing, and you're saying they shot you in the eye. Okay? They shot you with a revolver in your eye.
Yes. And that's
Is it a BB gun?
No, it was a real gun, man. It was just a
If
revolver.
they shot you in the eye with a revolver, you wouldn't be talking to me right now.
How do you know?
It was most likely you be dead.
That's what I thought too, man. I really don't know.
Okay?
I really don't know, and I just want to go back to sleep and try to go back to bed.
You're not going back to bed. Okay? That's not going to happen.
Alright, but what happened, man? What do I gotta do? Just tell me what I gotta do.
All right, get your feet off my chair is number one. Number two, what happened to Heather?
I don't know, man. I really don't
You're
know.
now saying Richie and his dad shot Heather.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Yes.
And they shot her with a revolver.
Yes.
And did not use any gun. They came with those guns.
Mm-mm.
And they came through the where? They were breaking
Through the
in?
back.
Through the back? By your door, or is there another door?
Through the back door.
Through the back door? Is that off the kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
And why would they come on Christmas Day?
I don't know. I really don't know. Really don't know.
Did they break in or did you let them in?
I let them in.
And then what happened?
And they started shooting up the house.
Okay, and then what happened?
That's it.
What happened to Heather?
Heather got shot.
Where did she get shot?
Inside the face once.
She got shot inside of the face?
Mm-hmm.
How close were you to her when she got shot in the face?
It was after I got shot, so I didn't even hear anything.
So you got shot first?
Uh-huh.
And what happened? Did you fall to the ground?
Yeah, I was trying to get up and shit, and I couldn't. I don't
Okay.
know.
And then she got shot?
Mm-hmm.
And what did you do?
Nothing.
Did you call 911?
Uh-uh.
Did you see if she was alive?
She was sleeping still, and that's it. I just let her sleep.
She got shot in the side of the face and you let her sleep?
Yes.
This does not make sense, Ryan.
I know, I didn't mean to, man. I'm sorry. I didn't know she was passing out. That's because I got shot wrong once, too, and I was gonna pass out.
You're saying right now you've been shot
Yes.
in the eye
Yes.
with the revolver.
Yes.
All right.
I swear, I don't know. I just want to go home and go to sleep, man. I don't know.
Okay. What happened with you and Heather last night?
Her dad came and shot the house.
And shot her.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad. Now, Richie is her dad?
Mm-hmm.
Or Richie's her brother?
Yeah, her dad.
Her dad shot her.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you do?
I tried to go back to sleep.
After you've been shot
Mm-hmm.
in the eye,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know enough to call 911.
Mm-mm.
Why didn't you call 911?
Because I was just trying to go to sleep. That's it.
You just saw Richie's and his dad shoot your girlfriend, and you just felt like you needed to go to sleep?
Something like that. I don't know, man. I really don't.
Ryan, look at me. Ryan,
Yes. I don't know, man. I really don't
why
know.
did you shoot Heather, Ryan?
I didn't shoot Heather. She was already shot once by her brother, I swear.
Richie.
Yes.
Richie shot his own sister.
Yes, I swear. That's it.
Sit down.
Not me.
And you've been shot in the eye.
Yes. That's it.
Put your feet off my table, please.
My feet hurt, man. I don't know why.
Get them off my table. Let me see your nose. Come on, put your legs down. Put your legs down. Bring your face closer.
Oh, my head hurts.
Okay. Yeah, be right back. Hey, Ryan?
Yes.
I got the fire department coming to take a look at it. They're going to probably take you to the hospital.
You taking me to the hospital?
Yeah, we're going to take you to the hospital.
Why?
Well, if you've seen your face and the way you're doing things, it doesn't make sense right now, okay? We're just going to make sure you're okay.
I just want to go back to bed, man.
Well, that's the problem. If you have some kind of head injury, you shouldn't be sleeping, okay? Well, sit down. There you go. Did you go back to bed after the shooting?
Mm-hmm.
Did you and Heather have a relationship?
Not after the shooting, no.
No, not after the shooting, before the shooting.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So she was your girlfriend,
Kind of, not really.
and why did Richie and her dad, why did Richie shoot you and then shoot her? Doesn't make sense.
They came in shooting at everybody. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I really don't know why.
Okay, and it's Heather's brother, Richie?
Mm-mm.
And you said it was Heather's dad. Is it Heather's dad, or is it just Richie and his dad?
Richie and his dad. Has nothing to do with Heather.
Okay, Heather is not related to Richie or the dad.
Mm-mm.
And when did Richie live with you?
I don't know, like a week, man.
When?
I don't know.
Like a week ago? 2 weeks ago? A month ago?
Maybe.
All right. Just stay right there.
I can't believe it either. You're right. I've already heard the story. I can't believe it.
This is just my observations that this might be an entrance, this might be an exit, this might be into his eye. And he's acting like he has a serious head injury, which would make sense. So,
What's your
you guys
name?
confirm?
Ryan.
Yeah, we'll take him.
I might have been shot. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know.
It looks like it went right through, huh?
Yeah, it might have. I don't know.
Where are we going?
We gotta go to the hospital. Get checked out, bro. Look like you got shot right in the face.
I don't know.
All right, so yeah, I mean, I don't think it's just because of my medical background that I can identify that he needed some serious help. I think anyone with any sort of common sense could have seen that Ryan desperately needed medical attention. I mean, of course, hindsight is 2020, but I don't understand how this person interrogating him didn't recognize sooner that he needed help. Ryan was essentially exhibiting all of the red flags associated with a traumatic brain injury. And so the man interrogating him, you have to think he's often one of the first, if not the first, right, on a crime scene or some kind of traumatic event. Oftentimes will be one of the first, if not the first, to appear on the scene. And so you would think he damn well better be educated on these red flags to look out for. If you were the first arriving, he should know red flags with a traumatic brain injury. And Ryan checked all the boxes, right? He had incoordination, delayed verbal expression, inability to focus attention. He was disoriented. He had slurred, incoherent speech. He was having memory deficits. Check, check, check. I mean, Ryan checked all of the boxes. Looking at this video, watching this video, it is so clear to see. So how didn't the police officer interrogating him pick up on any of these huge glaring red flags? And I do want to clarify that I honestly don't think that the officer interrogating Ryan had like any malicious intentions. You know, I bet you he honestly, I would think he feels guilt when it comes to this case. But I think in this moment, he was so hyper focused on finding out who had killed Heather. He essentially had like blinders on. He saw one thing and one thing only. He saw Ryan. He assumed immediately that Ryan was the perpetrator. And I get statistically, oftentimes with these types of crimes, it is the intimate partner. But that does not mean that you can go into every case automatically assuming that it is the intimate partner without doing your due diligence, right? Same thing in medicine. We are taught that you cannot just go into a patient's room assuming that you already know the diagnosis, because this can cloud our judgment, this can cloud our clinical reasoning, it can cause bias. Same thing here. He dropped the ball. Even if he did assume that Ryan killed Heather, that Ryan and Heather got into an altercation, and that is how he got this injury to his eye, he still should have had him medically cleared first. And truthfully, the whole case, I mean, not only upset me, but it truly just broke my heart. Seeing how he was treated, even the paramedics, when the paramedics came, I felt like they were just so nonchalant with Ryan.
Where are we going? We gotta go to the hospital. Get checked out, bro. Look like you got shot right in the face.
When Ryan was likely experiencing one of the worst, if not the worst day in his entire life. He had just experienced an extremely traumatic event. He was from here on out going to suffer a lifetime of disability. And ultimately, this was going to be the catalyst for Ryan's life being cut short. Because in fact, Ryan did go on to lose his eye, lose his vision, lose part of his brain, suffer permanent brain damage. He developed seizures, and it was ultimately a seizure that ended up taking Ryan's life 10 years later, which in fact was a direct result of this injury. And so as far as the perpetrators, Richie and Larry Carver, they were eventually convicted, but not without some roadblocks along the way. Well, for Larry, that is. Richie, he was sentenced to life in prison in 2008, but the case against Larry Carver was a little bit sketchy. It was actually based largely on confessions that he had made to his wife, but those confessions were ultimately dismissed because the wife invoked her marital privilege and actually refused to testify against Larry, her husband. However, fortunately, the family of Heather Kwan then appealed to the legislature to enact what became known as, quote, Heather's Law. And this amended the marital privilege statute to compel a defendant's spouse to testify. So there was a legal battle whether or not that law could apply retroactively to Larry Carver's case, but the court did rule in favor of the state, and Carver was eventually reindicted in November 2011, where he was charged, and he will remain in prison also for the rest of his life. Good thing, right? Both of them rotting away in prison. Of course, it doesn't bring Ryan or Heather back, but at least there was some justice there. But now the investigator, the man that interrogated Ryan while Ryan had a bullet in his brain, suffering a traumatic brain injury, his name was Paul Dalton. This is where I get conflicted in my opinions. So the Waller family did file a $15 million lawsuit against the Phoenix Police Department for mistreatment of Ryan. And it looks like, from what I can find online, I couldn't find a ton, but it looks like the Waller family spent up to about 4 years preparing for their case against this police department. But just a few weeks before it actually went to trial, the case was dismissed. And so you have to think that, well, thankfully the perpetrators, yes, they're in prison, but I can only imagine that the Waller family is still feeling a lot of injustice, because no matter how you look at it, they definitely did mishandle Ryan and his case. I mean, he was a victim and treated like a criminal. Ryan needed compassion and extremely intensive care, but he was treated like a criminal and left for hours. Allegedly, a physician attested that Ryan's injuries from being shot in the brain fully explains his lasting impairments and seizures, and would likely have been the same regardless of that 6-hour delay because of the Phoenix Police Department. And I don't know, right? I hear this and I think it is possible, because remember, the incident happened on December 23rd, and he wasn't discovered until his dad called Christmas Day, December 25th. So he had already been without medical attention for over 24 hours. And so I'm sure lasting effects happen from this. We have a phrase in medicine that we kind of always go by. Time is tissue. It means exactly what it sounds like. The faster that you respond to some sort of event, the better the outcome. So time is tissue. I mean, I think that is something to consider here. That 6 hours is relevant, but I also can see from the other side that he'd already been suffering this injury and not receiving care for over 24 hours. It's really hard to say, but like I said, regardless of the medical aspect, right? He was still a person and a victim, and he was treated horribly like a criminal. I mean, it's so heartbreaking to watch him sitting there uncomfortably, trying to make sense of what is going on, trying to function and answer questions in handcuffs in a chair. It's hard. It's hard to watch. I feel so sad for the family. I can't imagine how they must feel watching this interrogation. Anyways, that's just what I wanted to go over with you guys. Like I said, I know it's an older case, but I've been seeing it pop up a few times on my social media. And I thought, one, I think it's interesting, but I think there is something to learn there too, with those red flags, with the traumatic brain injury, and also just that reminder, yes, in healthcare, but also in other areas of focus too. Don't assume that you know all of the facts before you do your due diligence and look into the details. And also, even if, same thing in healthcare too, even if we are treating a criminal, we still have to put that judgment aside and treat the patient. He still deserved medical attention, even if, and he wasn't. but even if he were the perpetrator. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. If you want to see the full interrogation, I actually found that it looks like his family has a YouTube page where they share some stuff about Ryan, some of like the news videos and interviews and stuff like that. And they also have that full interrogation. So I'll make sure to link it in the description box below. Otherwise, as always, I wish you guys nothing but the best. Don't forget to learn something new every day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.